In today's Take of the Day, I want to talk about the comments Charles Barkley made about Ben Simmons. And do you think those comments were just or right in regards to what he said about Ben Simmons? Before we get into that, please like, subscribe, also hit the notification bell so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. We put content out every day so you won't miss any content here. But let's go ahead and jump right into this situation. Now, Charles Barkley was on a podcast show about a day ago, and he spoke on some comments about Ben Simmons. And we all know what's been going on, Ben Simmons, the rumor around the trade, him wanting to be traded, just the fact that what type of player Ben Simmons is or what type of player he isn't. A lot of people are just, saying a lot of things about Ben Simmons, and he's swallowing all this. He's taking all this in. And, as a fan of basketball, I kind of wonder what Ben Simmons is thinking. I kind of wonder, is he okay with everything that's being said? Is it really going to fuel him or motivate him to be better, or is he going to fold? You know what I'm saying? Because it just seems very, very, unreal that a player like him, as much talent as I think he has, should be going through this much criticism this very early in his career when he's got years and years to go to make up for and be the best player he can be. But, before we get into all that, though, I'm going to let you listen to these comments by Charles Barkley, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Check it out.
That's impossible. But see, that's what bothers me. So y'all give him $200 million. I think he got 160, 70 left on the deal. He makes $40 million a year. And he gets mad when people criticize him for not only will he not shoot, he's afraid of the ball. And he's mad and wants to leave. This is what you guys have created in today's players. You players and these fans, you don't hold these guys accountable. Wait, so let me get this straight. We liked you enough to give you $200 million. The only thing we asked you is to be a good basketball player. And you're a good basketball player. But we want you to be we're not even asking, we just say shoot the ball. And he's mad and wants to leave town. Come on, Mike, this is total BS. And if I'm the Sixers, we had our annual Sixers dinner the other night. And I said this to those guys. And we talk about guys who coached and played in the NBA. We do it once a year. Anybody who played for the Sixers, we get together once a year for dinner. It's one of the greatest nights of my life. And I said, we had a couple of GMs there. I said, hey, I will call Ben Simmons. I said, hey, if you want to be traded, that's fine. We're not giving you away. We're not giving you away. We're not going to trade you to where you want to be traded. If somebody wants to give us the deal we want, we're not taking 25 cents on the dollar.
Now, when we listen to those comments by Charles Barkley, I feel like Charles Barkley has a lot of truth in what he's saying. To me, he's one of those ambassadors or ambassador type guys in regards to Philly, because his heart is close to Philly. He played for them, and, he really, embraces the Philadelphia culture. So, listening to Charles Barkley, if you are a Philadelphia 76ers fan, you definitely have to, have all ears to somebody like that. And, the comments that he made about Ben Simmons, a lot of that was dead on accurate. You know what I'm saying? Because as a Sixers organization, you can't just take Ben Simmons and basically give him away for pennies. You have to get some value back from him if you're going to trade this guy. And for the Sixers' sake, which most teams are going to do the same thing, you don't want to trade him to a contender. You don't want to trade him to a team that can win a championship because your aspirations are winning a championship. So in most organizations, they're going to try to trade a player like Ben Simmons to the lesser team. So when Ben Simmons said he wanted to go to a team in California, hell, they're liable if they do trade him. If they do, which is not certain, they're liable to trade him to the Sacramento Kings. He'll have his own team. He'll have his own everything. But at the same time, they won't be a good franchise. That doesn't bode well for Ben Simmons because he's already at a franchise where, they can turn the corner and become a championship team. Now, the comments Charles Barkley made about Ben Simmons not wanting the ball, not wanting to shoot and be aggressive enough, I definitely agree with those comments. And I had made videos prior to this one about him being part of the Clippers, possibly getting traded to the Clippers or wanting to go to the Clippers. And you could check those videos out as well if you have time. But I was making videos about that in regards to that and saying that Ben Simmons would be a good fit to a team like the Clippers. But it's like only if, and I stress only if, he's going to be aggressive when they need him the most, which is the playoffs. If he's not going to be aggressive, if they're not going to, if the Clippers or any other team in the NBA that he gets traded to or go to or whatever, if he doesn't stay with the Sixers, if he's not aggressive enough, it's all for nothing. And it's just a waste of time if he's not going to be the player he needs to be. And the one thing I think Ben Simmons has to do, he can't get that frustrated where he doesn't play his game to the highest ability. Charles Barkley made another statement. They paid the man close to $200 million, because of his superstar talent and what he could be. And they paid him all this money. And it's almost as if, he's pouting to a degree. I'm not saying literally that he is, but, it's like, oh, okay, well, you're making all this money. They're paying you $30-40 million a year. And you couldn't even take a shot in 3 or 4 fourth quarters of these games in the playoffs. And to me, it just doesn't make any sense, and I understand Ben Simmons has his reasons. The Sixers organization have their reasons. But at the same time, they are paying you valuable maximum dollars. They are paying you X amount of dollars to go out there and perform at the best level you can. Just because you don't agree with the organization about possibly trading you at one point just to keep Joel Embiid and other things that are going on with the organization, it doesn't mean you don't need to go out there and perform, because how you continuously make your money, how you continuously get endorsements, how you continuously have value in the NBA as a player that's tradable, that's marketable, is by what you do in the playoffs. Ben Simmons knows that. Everybody else knows that. So it's like, I definitely understand where Ben Simmons is coming from in regards to the situation, because he has his reasons, and sometimes you got to understand some players are more sensitive than others. Some players are bothered by things that others aren't. And whatever, notion that came out that possibly Ben Simmons, because it was a rift or something like that about a year or two ago about whose team is it and who would they trade. They get rid of Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid. But like I said, to me, all that stuff doesn't matter. You got 2-star caliber type players, and both of them have to figure out a way to play with each other if this process was going to work. Me personally, I don't think it's going to work now. I think the bridge is burned. I think Ben Simmons mentally is not there. I think he mentally wants to be somewhere else. And I do believe if he gets traded to another team, even a team like Sacramento or wherever, I do believe he's going to ball out. I do believe he's going to show out on the court and show everybody that, the money that he got paid by Philadelphia wasn't a joke. It was, just. He is an up-and-coming star, and I'm not for certain that I think they say he's going to be a LeBron-esque type player. I know some analysts say that. I'm not for certain that. I think Charles Barkley was one of the ones that said that before about Ben Simmons, a couple years ago. But I do see a really, really skilled, big guy type player, point guard in Ben Simmons who can control a game. And long as he just picks up his scoring a little and just be aggressive enough to shoot. The thing is with Ben Simmons, nobody really cares if you're not that great of a shooter. They just want you to take the shots. Do you understand that, Ben Simmons? Like the organization, everybody, they just want you to be aggressive. They don't even want you to shoot. It's not even about shooting 50% from the field or 40% from 3. If you can do that, that's great. But they just want you to be aggressive enough to do it. And other teams have to see this as well. And me personally, I feel like, Ben Simmons, to me, it kind of hurt his stock a little bit watching him in those playoff games not perform the way he's supposed to, whether it was intentional or not, whatever the case may be. Like I said before, your value goes down when people don't see you perform in the playoffs. Your value goes down when people see you like either pouting or not playing to your best ability because of, an issue that you can't control. Other executives look at that. And they look at that as a weak-minded player. And that's what I'm saying. I don't really think Ben Simmons is a weak-minded player. I think he's really good. I think he really has potential. I've always liked his game. I liked his passing ability. But the crazy thing to me is I never really understood how he played so good with the Sixers when Joel Embiid wasn't playing. It's like he plays better when Joel Embiid is not there. And I know Joel Embiid crowds up the paint and everything like that, but Joel Embiid does stand the 3-point line. He does space the floor. So it's like, to me, I would have thought that 1-2 combination would be damn near unstoppable in the NBA, but it just never really panned out, and it's not so far. I mean, I didn't think they would lose to the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, Charles Barkley said it, before himself, and in this clip here that I just played, the Atlanta Hawks, I didn't think the Atlanta Hawks would beat them. I just didn't. And I don't think many other people did either, unless maybe you're from Atlanta or the surrounding area. But that's just my opinion on that. But, as far as Ben Simmons, he has a long way to go in his career. This is just a speed bump, a little minor, bump in the road for him. But at the same time, he has to rebound. He has to come out. If he is traded, whatever team in California or wherever he's going, there's even reports about Ben Simmons possibly going to like Minnesota too. But it doesn't matter. Wherever he goes, he needs to pick his game up. He needs to go out there and just be aggressive. Nobody cares whether he shoots 50% from the field. They want him to be aggressive the whole time. These teams will pay Ben Simmons to be aggressive alone. They won't even pay him millions and millions of dollars to shoot a great percentage and be a high quality type player. They will just pay Ben Simmons just to go out there and be aggressive and don't be afraid. And that's what it's all about. I've seen Ben Simmons many times where he's not even taking jumpers in the game. He's pretty much just doing all layups, dunks, and passing and going to the free throw line. It's like, man, if you don't stretch the floor to at least take a jumper and make the defense respect you from 17 feet and further, well, it makes the game a lot more minimal. It makes the game easier for the other team on defense, because it's almost as if they're playing 4-on-5, because this is a 3-point lead now. You have to go out there and be able to shoot. You have to be able to stretch the floor, and you have to be able to do it with precision, and you have to be able to do it unconsciously. You have to be able to do it and don't even think twice about it. And when Ben Simmons is on your team, that would be the only flaw. He is a great passer. He's got a lot of talent and all those things. But if he's not getting to the rim or doing things how he does it, in that way, I don't know. He's just not that effective. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's like every player in the league has a jump shot now, or at least it seems that way anyway. So it's like you have to be able to step out and knock down that jumper. And I think, Ben Simmons can really open his game up so much more if he just does those things. And those are the type of things that Charles Barkley was alluding to. The reason why he was saying that, this whole situation is BS, basically Ben Simmons just got to be more aggressive and put your big boy pants on and do what you got to do. If the trade is going to happen, it's going to happen. If it don't, it don't. But you still got to go out there and perform, because you're getting paid X amount of dollars to perform. And that's really what it comes down to, in my opinion. But hey, that's my take on the situation. Let me know what you think in the comment section about everything we talked about. And hey, we'll engage and we'll talk about it. And hey, Cali out.